I got into the industry by I crashed my dad's car 3.5 weeks after I passed my driving test, and I wanted to be a mechanic, but I couldn't get work experience anywhere. I went to the place that fixed the car, and I went in my school uniform with a box of beer and a box of chocolates, and I was like, I don't care if I just brush your floors, like I need some sort of workshop experience. So they put spray gun on my hand on the first day, and I gave up wanting to be a mechanic and ended up going down the route of paint. So I started my apprenticeship then in the November of 2016. Like we had Ferraris and Aston Martins, and like every day you came in, there was just like the coolest cars. I'm 17, I found my like dream job. It's mad because I was like obviously had so many good things. I just didn't feel good. Like I just felt like something was sort of missing. The worst bit was I felt really guilty about it because I thought, you spoke to anyone about it, and you kind of did like this sort of silly, like I don't want to like fully talk about it, but you kind of like drop wee hints, and then you always get like the older generation were like, you're 17, what have you got to worry about? And I've never had any home life issues. I had a great childhood. Like it's not like I had like past issues, and I just felt really, really guilty. And I think that was like kind of spiraling it even more. Like I just wasn't supposed to be there. And I was getting to the point where I was just crying all the time. Like I can remember being in work and going and crying in the toilets for like 15 minutes, sort myself out, and then coming back like nothing happened. I ended up going to the doctor because I was getting to the point where I was like, I don't really want to be here. And I kind of felt like everybody would have just been better off if I wasn't here. Everyone's kind of having to tell me that I'm good, and I'm constantly looking for reassurance, and all I'm doing is sort of like holding everybody back. I got put on loads of different antidepressants, and I think I was on 7 different types at one point, and they just weren't working, and I was just getting sick. I went into my manager. He said about going through Ben. The waiting list on the NHS for counselling was 9.5 months, and I was like, if I wait 9.5 months, I'm not going to be here. Got the form, filled it out, and I think it was like 3 days later, if even, I got a phone call, and I've been assigned a caseworker that gave me my extra day. That got me till I was going to sleep to go in the next day to start getting help. If you had spoke to somebody who maybe just dismissed you, like how differently that could have turned out. You're working with men constantly who predominantly don't talk about anything like that because they think that it's emotional or whatever, and it makes it harder, especially whenever you're going through it. It's obviously everybody has had some sort of dealing with mental health, whether it's themselves or somebody they know, or whether it's they've had a full-blown mental health disorder, or they've just had a couple of bad days. It's still all under the same term, and I think it's really important to remember that you're not on your own. Everybody goes through it. It might not directly impact you. It might not be somebody but you don't know. Somebody like the boys on the workshop floor didn't know I was going through Ben. They didn't know about it, and they didn't know that had I not have gone through it, I wouldn't be here.